How are we all doing today? What's up to my legends? How has the day been? What's going on? It is a beautiful sunny day here in Gold Coast. Yeah, I love it when you guys jump in the chat nice and early and let everyone know to hit that like button to help get this video around the internet whilst we are live. Massively appreciate it. Good evening, Eric. What is up, Andrew? Ryan's in the house. Kevin, happy holidays. Yes, 100%. It is the 21st of December. So shout out to everyone who is even still making the time to trade this time of year, because it does get super busy and you know, life gets in the way, but here we are, hustling as always. What's up, Pranev, Lloyd, Eric, Brad? All right, so today what I want to go through, yesterday we focused mostly on higher time frame, looking for a weekly setup, a 1 hour trade setup. Today I want to zoom in a little bit more on the 15-minute time frame and just kind of see what's going on there, because I think that is telling a little bit more of a story, and there's actually a lesson in yesterday's price action. So give me one moment while I just sort this out. Sorry guys. Here we go. Okay, so before we get into what is going on in Bitcoin, let's just have a look at the general markets, what's going on here. One thing I do kind of like, which is going to be my main focus before we move on, is this Dixie down here. So yesterday, if you happen to catch yesterday's update, I did say to you to keep an eye on Dixie continuing to reject that 50 EMA. Good morning, Bitbug. Oh, I hope you're well. Hope your wife is well also. It's been ages since I've seen you. But anyway, so here we are. We did get another rejection of that 50 EMA, which is a good sign for everything else that, you know, we have going on if we're looking for some upside in our other trades. So we want to see that continue to happen. The other thing that you have to be cautious of, however, is that it has not started to come into our vector zone just yet. So we really do want to see price break into that area and potentially even break right through it. That's going to be great for our chances of upside in everything else. At this point in time, it's not there. So do have to be prepared for this to create a higher low potential W formation. So just keep an eye on it. It is looking weak, but you always have to be prepared for something unexpected to happen. But as long as we keep under the 50 EMA and we keep creating lower lows, we're good. We just really want to get through this zone. Everything else, because of that, we don't really have to worry about too much. It does look like the S&P is having a little bit of a pivot here halfway through its vector zone. Fantastic. So does NASDAQ. However, they are looking quite weak. This time of year, we have to expect that the volume's going to drop a lot. We also don't have really any news events. Let's have a look at that. We don't have any news events really that could cause any kind of major market move anymore as we start to slow down. The only real thing that I think could affect us this week is the consumer confidence at 2 a.m. Melbourne time on Thursday. So that will be tonight, nighttime for us, and potentially even Saturday core PCE. But if you're trading this method, we're out of our trades by Saturday and we should be free and clear of that. As you can see, next week will be a very low week. We've got obviously Christmas holidays, bank holidays, things like that. So the market, just for those who don't know, it does close early on the 24th, usually of December at 1 or 2 p.m. I think it's, oh damn it, I forgot, and I don't have my notebook here. Where did I put it? I've lost it. It's either 1 or 2 p.m. New York time. However, that may happen on the Friday because the 24th is the Saturday. So that, yeah, this year it may happen on the Friday. Be aware of that. And then we have bank holiday until the 27th. So probably going to be a boring few days next week. But what that may do is open us up to whale manipulation. If the volume is super low, whales can definitely move price. So just be aware of that if you're wanting to even dare trade it. So now zooming in on Bitcoin, what I want to talk about before we get into today's price action is what ended up happening yesterday. Now, if you happen to catch yesterday's video, you'll know that we had this move here in the dead gap zone when I went live, and we were waiting for a second side W on the 1 hour time frame, which takes longer to play out than on the 15-minute. And usually you would expect 3 hits to the high on the 15-minute creates the inside left side of the W, then we come back to retrace, then we create the other side. So we're too early for a 1 hour second side W just yet. So that's fine. What we do have going on the 15-minute, we didn't get what we would expect for a 15-minute W formation, because you'd usually expect that as multi-session changeover or single session changeover. Sorry, single session. We didn't get that. And what it looks like we got instead was just a little bit of a V shape on the 15-minute. Now, that happens, and that's just the way it is. We have to learn to trade, and we have to learn to take our entries different ways. So this board meeting that we got yesterday was a double session board meeting in Asia and in UK, and it teaches us a very important lesson, which really comes down to, it just proves the point that you have to learn this method in full, because you're not always going to get the perfect entry, and you have to know all the different ways in which the market maker induces people to take positions so that you have a trigger for your entry. So on that note, before I get into what was the perfect entry for this, it is the holiday period. If you're not in our community, if you're not learning this method in full, but you have been interested in doing it, there's no better time to join than now, because the way our education works is everything is on a timed system, and you get unlocked videos over weekly over periods of time, ensuring that between your learning, you actually practice and retain that knowledge, because there's no point in getting knowledge without the practice. It doesn't sink in. So that's how we operate at TTC. But we are aware that during this time of year, a lot of people go on holidays and they have a lot of extra time that they want to dedicate to study. So for the holiday period, we've actually unlocked the videos so that you can learn at your own pace. So if you've been on the fence and hesitating about whether or not you should learn this method, if you are going to have the time to study over the holidays, there's no better time to jump in than now, because you can learn at your own pace as all the videos are unlocked. So grab the link from the description of any of the videos if you're interested in that. It's also in the chat there. You can check it out and come join us. But I want to talk about what was the perfect entry if you didn't happen to catch the V, which is a very difficult and advanced entry to catch down here. So I won't go into that, but let's dissect this board meeting, because the board meeting is this section right here, where price kind of just went sideways. Let me just change this here. So we're just looking at this very area here. Now, this yesterday was a typical market maker play, and in this period of time would have been when you were waiting for a W or a retracement back to the 50 EMA for an entry. And you can see here that the market maker in this period of time didn't give it to you. But here's the hint. This is what they do. See here, you've got 1 wick. Hang on, let me just let me do this. So you've got a wick here. Then we've got, why does this keep going back to the heart? We've got another one here. And then we've got another one. I know that I should just put that on repeat, but I'm being lazy. I'll just do one more here. So see all these wicks here that you can see above the board meeting. So this has been drawn to the candle closes, and we can see these poke outs here, 4 poke outs above price. Now, what that tells you is that during that board meeting, the market maker was trying to induce people to either open a short position, people who see wicks as rejection, right? So get them to open short positions, high leverage 100x short positions, or it's triggering entries of breakout traders who think that price is in a really super tight range. They want to see price break out above that level, so they'll put a long order literally here just above it, and they put their stop loss right below it, right? And so what happens is they've done that 4 times. So they've triggered breakout traders 4 times. Then they issue a candle like this one here, Let me open it super big and see how that wick went all the way down here. So that wick ensured that it was going to hit all the stop losses of everybody who longed here. Then that price moves out and up because they've collected their contract. So these people who went long were right. They were right as far as direction, but their stop loss will be poorly placed because that's how you are taught to break out trade, is to, you know, have your entry above the resistance and have your stop loss just below the support, and bang, there you go. You get stopped out, price goes your way, and you're left as a trader going, oh, I was right, I got stopped out and then it went my way. And then you like a sore loser cry. But it's because you don't know what's really happening behind the scenes, right? Whereas if you know this method, you know exactly what is happening in all these wicks and what the market maker is doing, and you know that you have to wait for the stop hunt for your entry. Now, sometimes the stop hunt after, you got to wait for the candle to close, right? So sometimes it will give you the perfect entry, and that's great. You know, there's still a good risk to reward, whatnot. Sometimes it doesn't, and that's just the game. In this particular case, it would not have been a good entry because by the time you waited for this candle to close, your entry would have to be up at this one, and your stop loss would have to be under the wick, and your risk reward would have to be to the 800 EMA. So shitty trade anyway. So it has been difficult to get, if you're trading the 15-minute time frame, it has been difficult to get entries. Well, it would have been yesterday. So don't worry too much if you're not doing anything. The main thing is that you use this price action to learn what the market maker is doing, because if you can assess that, if you can break down what is really happening in a board meeting, then eventually it's going to make you more confident with taking trades that, you know, will play out in the end. But it takes time and commitment, and you know, you have to just accept that you're not going to get some trades while you're learning. That's just how it works. Now, what we've got going on now, so all of that move up yesterday, we talked about some high levels of liquidity yesterday that we were waiting to be taken out, those ones that I just erased before I even told you what they were. Well done. But anyway, they were the ones, and we talked about how there were much higher levels of liquidity above price because of the liquidation levels than there were below price yesterday, and that is why I was open to long positions. So it turns out so far we're there, but here's what we have to look for now. Looking at this current price action, even though it just looks gross and it looks really sideways, we have to expect that this time of year when it's really super low volume. And if you really want to force a trade, then that's it. That's part of the game. You have to accept it. But what we have going on right now is that I'm going to double check this in a second, but before we went live, there was a fairly significant level of short orders sitting between about 17.2 to 17.3. Now, what this makes me believe is, if you remember at the start of this video, I said to you a 1 hour W on the 15-minute time frame will be 3 hits to the high as it's creating the inside right side of the W. Sorry, inside left side of the W. So if that's what is actually starting to form here, we have the 1 hit to the high here on the 15-minute time frame. We have 2, and we don't yet have the 3rd. So what I'm particularly interested in looking for today is to see if this W does form, give me that rejection at the 17.1 to 3 area. That would qualify as a 3rd hit to the high on the 15-minute time frame. Then, because those orders are fairly significant, that may be the start of the inside right side of the W that brings me back down to around the 16.5 region. Now, the reason why that is the play that I am interested in is because when I go to the heat maps, look how many orders are building here around that level. We can see that we've got 1.9k at 17,150 all the way up to 17.3. The most significant important area is 17,200 at this point in time. So anywhere between there is where I'm going to be looking for a 15-minute time frame rise 3, which hopefully turns out to just be forming the inside of a higher time frame W, right? And the reason why I'm open to that, mind you, I should say before I continue, is that if we do get up to that area and the candles look weak, I may switch my plan if they're looking super weak and open a short position. I'm not going to blind open it now just because I see those orders there. I want to see what happens when price gets there, if it gets there, because anything can change, as we know, with heat maps. To give you an example, yesterday we were looking, when price was here, we had noticed that there was a high level of short orders at 16,500, and look at that, right at that level the market maker showed up and shot price right through it, so that whoever did short at that level, we talked about the low of the week turning into the high of the week, whoever did short at that level just instantly got taken out. So you have to know that about heat maps and be open to that. And that's why I wouldn't just go put in a limit order short at this level now. I would wait and see if I have weakness in the candles. I may potentially open a short position if the final candlestick is giving me the right confirmations, just in case it doesn't turn out to be a higher time frame W formation. So that is an area of interest. And you know what? And if it doesn't, great. I'm in a good short. My long position is risk-free. No worries. Will stop me out at break even. If it comes down and creates the higher low, I close the short, I continue on with my long. So that's how I'm going to play this game. I also see 16,500 at a level of long orders. So now when we go back and have a look at the chart, that is this level here that we talked about yesterday that needed to break, that is now where people are hoping to long. So if I zoom out on a 1 hour time frame, this is going to become much clearer to you now what could be happening over a longer period of time. If I get rid of that, where this right here could all be a 1 hour W that is still forming, comes up to reject at that high level short orders that we've just seen, comes back to the high level long orders that we've seen, again providing all these orders stay there, then from there shoot out to come and take these higher liquidation levels that we have at 17,660, and we have and then we go much higher. But hang on, actually let me check high block for a second and see, do we have, what have we got above 17,660 now? 17,8, come on, my lord, it's so sensitive. 17,8, 17,9. So if we're lucky, up to around the 18k kind of region, which would put us within, actually that's an old vector zone, we've got a new one now, so let's remark this one out. That would put us within this vector zone that needs to be recovered, which to me that's a good target area of interest. So yeah, that there, I should add in this 18k liquidation clone. 18. All right, so that's what we're kind of dealing with if we're lucky enough to get all of that. So watch out for a 15-minute rise 3, then look for rejection. On the Ethereum, interesting about Ethereum is sticking with the 1 hour time frame. Ethereum gave us a little bit of a better signal, gave us a little bit of a final damage W, but with Ethereum, there were lower liquidation levels. It has hit all of those. We haven't yet quite hit the 1235, which is interesting. We wicked close to it, but rejected off the 200 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. And we have not yet fully recovered this candle zone, which is quite a decent size one. As you can see here, the 50% mark of that zone is where price has been consolidating. So is this a W rise 1 board meeting before we go through to take out these higher levels of liquidations? That's what I'm going to be looking for. So my area of interest is 1235 for Ethereum, and then 1259, which will line up with the 200 and then the 800 EMA. So I'm liking that for continuation. At this point in time, I don't have a reason to exit an Ethereum long position, but again, it's above the 50 EMA. So as long as it holds above that 50 EMA, I'm not too worried. But again, even if it did retrace below it, as long as I felt like it was creating higher lows, I would be fine. But these are my next kind of 2 targets on ETH. Let's have a look at the 15-minute time frame for Ethereum. Yeah, same thing. So it's really just in a board meeting. That's a significant kind of sell-off on that EMA. But again, I really like it when the EMAs line up with a vector candle. It's a very, very good target zone. even though this is a 1 hour W, if we're just concentrating on this area for a move, this is obviously a V, but you could probably count that there as 3 hits to the high, because they're fairly significant volume. Or even if that was your 3rd hit there with the stop hunt, yeah, just be careful of Ethereum. As long as it creates higher lows, I'd probably say I wouldn't want Ethereum to come back below this area here. That might make things a little bit tricky. However, if it came back, created a higher low in there, and then we went out for the next rise, no problem. But ideally, I'd like them both to create their, if I go back to show you both charts, sorry, I'd like them both to create their next rise into that 17.1 region for Bitcoin before they actually come back. That would be ideal scenario. Otherwise, just as long as they have higher lows, then I'm expecting upside. Now, hey, what's up, crypto trader? And reversal imminent, only at level 3, Melina. What else is going on in this chat? Is there anything else to talk about? No. All good. Wish you could go live a little. There's no point going live. Like, even now is a very difficult time in the gap zone because it's a highly manipulated time of day. And so until the price action in the gap zone is actually over, it's almost impossible to get an idea of what price is going to do. So even now, like, this is definitely the hardest time of day to go live and try to do TA. So if you think my TA plays out, then I deserve extra fucking likes, because I'm literally trying to figure this out in the worst time of the day. So give me some credit, guys. Give me those likes, give me those subs, and turn that bell notification on. On that note, yes, don't forget, if you're wanting to learn this method, link in the description of the video. Come join us. The video's unlocked. Best time to learn at speed. OKX is my preferred exchange to trade on. Go check them out. Look into their audits and everything like that. If you are happy with that, then also grab the link to OKX in the description of my videos, because you do get 15% discount off trading fees. That is all I have for you today. I will be back later tonight, so we'll be able to see what Asia has actually done and get an idea of what might happen into UK and US tonight. So I will leave you there for now, and I will see you guys later on tonight. Happy trading, and remember, it's a tricky time of year, so do not force